about our science and education. So just an absolute brilliant doctor. He's a great communicator, a great trainer, and I'm very, very excited tonight. Let's all stand up and give Dr. Nugent a huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our Director of Wellness, Chairman of the Global Advisory Board, Dr. Steve Nugent. All right.
Thank you. Back in black. Well, good evening, everyone, and good evening to everyone on the internet in all of our countries around the world, all 25 countries, and probably some other countries watching as well. And tonight we have a really important training. In fact, this is one of the most important trainings that you could possibly go to because it's about the most important product that we have ever created in our history, and that's saying something. So this product, I hope, is going to change lives around the world even more than our original Ambrotose product did, and I think a lot more. So I'm glad that you are here tonight and that you're tuned in on the internet because I'm answering a lot of these questions one person at a time all day long, 7 days a week. Much better to do it en masse. Much better. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about Ambrotose Life. And some people, one of the FAQs, and by the way, I build my presentations based on questions that I get. And I figure if I do a presentation and I get 5 or 6 questions that I thought I took care of, then I think, well, maybe not so much. So we should adjust that for the next time. So my presentations are ever evolving and changing to meet your needs. So one of the questions that comes up is, why life? Why that name? Because as we looked at this product, and we worked on this, by the way, for just about 2 years, this formulation. So this isn't something that we just thought up during a coffee break one day, okay? This was a lot of research that went into this. And we were thinking about the impact of this product on human health and how it could affect a person's life, how it could change their life, how it could improve their life, how it's important for every stage of your life, no matter who you are or where you're at in life. And we just suddenly thought, yeah, life. Let's call it Ambrotose Life. So that's why the name, Ambrotose Life. By the way, this is my first time on this stage. So this is sort of inaugural. It won't be the last time, that's for sure. So then the next question I get from folks is, well, you know, I take complex or I take advanced, and is this good for me? Can I take this one? This has the best of both products in one product, and a lot more besides that, a lot more. So whether you take complex or advanced, this is the right product for you. We thought about that because ever since we launched the very first advanced Ambrotose, there were 2 advanced Ambrotose products. A lot of people don't know that. We would get people say, well, which one should I take? You no longer have that question. You simply take Ambrotose Life. Everybody, and I'm going to say this because after I said this at Manifest, first at the launch and then at my training, I still had questions, so I'm going to say this a couple of times. I don't care what stage you are in health. I don't care if you have a complaint or you don't have a complaint. I don't care what your complaint is or you have no complaint at all. It doesn't matter. Ambrotose Life is the right product for everyone on the planet. Everybody, no exceptions. And I think that is pretty cool. So we don't have that question anymore. Everybody is going to benefit from Ambrotose Life, and that is just so cool. We didn't leave anything out. All of the benefits that you've always enjoyed with either Ambrotose Complex or Advanced Ambrotose, you will still get with this product because we started using the Ambrotose Complex base to build this formula on. So everything that you have in Ambrotose Complex and all the best that you have in Ambrotose Advanced are both in this product and some other things as well. That means all the claims that we have done scientific research on to prove we can say cellular communication, immune support, digestive support, cognitive function, so important. You know, when we had launched a product in Korea, a brain product, and all of a sudden, associates all over the world started emailing me, we want a brain product too. And my response was, you have one. It's called Ambrotose. And so many associates didn't know that Ambrotose has 7 brain studies. 7. Do you know that there are companies that sell so-called brain products that don't have a single study at all? Nothing. They don't even know if their products work at all. But they sell brain products, and they've got great advertisement. We have 7 brain studies. That's extraordinary. That may be, and I'm not sure, I haven't checked every product in every company. There's tens of thousands of them. But I'm pretty sure that that makes us the leader in research in brain function on a product. So, yeah, and you know, people, the first thing that almost everybody thinks about when you say Ambrotose, they think immune support. And yes, the immune support's extraordinary with Ambrotose. And I'm going to explain exactly how that works tonight, but in simple terms, not in scientific terms, because I want you to be able to actually understand it and tell others, okay? All you have to know is that the science is done, and I'll give you the way to explain it to other folks. I loved what you said about that, Kevin, because I don't want any of you to try and be scientists. I'll do that for you, okay? We have a great science department that does that. We've got a global scientific advisory board that does that. The science is done. Don't you worry about that. You just need to be confident and explain this to people in ways that they can understand it, because our goal is to get everyone on the planet as healthy as possible. So, cognitive support, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, right now, the second largest group of human beings on planet Earth are called the baby boomers in a lot of countries, not in every country. And that's a very large population group. It also happens to be the largest group of people on the planet that buy dietary supplements. There's a clue for you. And it also happens to be the largest group of people who are over the age of 50. And we know scientifically that when you hit the age of 50, you begin to have, unfortunately, you begin to have a normal age-related, I'm not talking about any kind of a disease process, I'm talking about a normal age-related process where memory begins to slowly decline, cognitive function begins to slowly decline. So who would really benefit from a product that's been proven in 7 brain studies to support cognitive function? Well, this millions and millions, actually billions of people who fit in that group. Also, digestive support. There's more and more science. We didn't have a lot of science back in 1996 on digestive support as it related to glyconutrients. But today, we have a growing body of evidence. And this growing body of evidence is telling us not only that approximately 70% of your immune system originates in your gastrointestinal tract, but that there are even studies right now that talk about psychological function and brain function as it relates to gut health. As strange as that, you say, well, how's that connected? It's connected, trust me. So with this in mind, digestive support is so important. And for those of you who use our product, GI Pro Balance, that product was specifically developed to work with Ambrotose. We specifically chose 6 different strains of probiotics that we knew would function best with our glyconutrients. So it's very, very synergistic. And in fact, it is a product that's called symbiotic as opposed to synbiotic, but it's also symbiotic, okay? And of course, Manopol, our industry exclusive that I'm going to talk to you a lot more about. And we are hoping that Ambrotose Life then becomes our single Ambrotose product for every person in every country. Now, one of the questions I get is, oh, have you filed for patents? Oh, sure, of course. But you know what? Patents expire every 20 years. And you might get a patent renewed, and you might not. For those of you who are business builders, and I understand the majority of the people who use Ambrotose are customers, and we love you for it. We want you to keep using our product as our customers forever. But for those of you who are business builders, you're saying, how can I protect my business if I don't have a patent? Then anyone else can make it. No, don't listen to any of that nonsense. In fact, there are 2 ingredients in Ambrotose Life that no one else can have. So this product cannot be duplicated. Those 2 ingredients are Manopol which I'm going to talk about in more detail in a moment, and also our trademarked AmbroGuard. AmbroGuard is the premium form of arabinogalactan. Now, you don't have to remember arabinogalactan. But you have different kinds of arabinogalactans, different sort of grades, categories, if you will. And the premium form, the very best form, the best documented form scientifically for human health is available only to Manitech. No other company can have it. We have an exclusive agreement with the only people in the world that produce this premium form, and you can only get that in Ambrotose from Manitech, or in any of our products where we have Ambrotose on the label. You're getting it. So then you have Manipul and AmbroGuard that make up more than 50% of the entire container, which means the product cannot be duplicated. People can go out there and buy all the different glyconutrients and try and slam them all together. They will not have Ambrotose. It won't work. So that's pretty darn cool. So your business is secure. I'm going to talk briefly about Manipul because Manipul is our most important ingredient. It is our most important discovery. And I think it will probably always be our most important ingredient. It's hard for me to imagine something that could be more powerful than Manipul. Really hard to imagine. Now in science, by the way, just so you're clear, in science, the word glycan is used. Now we use the word glyconutrient, which, by the way, was a term developed by Manitech. It's our word. Now everybody uses it, but it was our word. So you say glyconutrient as a commercial term, but a scientist will say glycan. And if you say glyconutrient to a scientist, they'll usually look at you funny because they have no idea what you're talking about. So on my materials, you will see I almost always put glycan/glyconutrient. Make sure everybody understands what we're talking about, okay? So then, Manipul. What the heck is this stuff? Well, for thousands of years, people have known that there were extraordinary healing properties in aloe vera. It took thousands of years for science to make it to the point where we actually understood what it is in the gel that actually does it. Everybody knew it worked, just nobody knew how it worked or why it worked. Our first chief of science is the man who discovered what the ingredient was. Now, he was actually tasked with looking for something a little bit different, but this is what he found. And everyone was surprised because at the time, science goes in trends, just like anything else goes in trends. And the trend at the time was everything was about proteins. It's always a protein that does this and a protein that does that. So obviously there's a protein in the gel. Well, no, it's a carbohydrate. It's a glycan. It's a glyconutrient. It's a plant sugar. Now understand, for everybody, because this is an FAQ I get pretty regularly, there are more than 200 plant saccharides known in science. There's only a couple of them that taste really good and are bad for your health. And those aren't the ones that we put in our product. That would not be really a good idea, right? So we don't do that. And these saccharides don't really taste all that great. You don't want to put them on your cereal in the morning. It's not going to help out the taste, although it could help out your health. So with this in mind, we have mannose from aloe, which is called ace-mannan. You don't have to remember that either. And ace-mannan is scientifically described as mannose. Mannose describes a type of glycan or glyconutrient from a plant. It is mannose from aloe that has an atomic weight of more than 1 million daltons. What's a dalton? The fellow who introduced the atomic theory was an Englishman named Dalton. All right? So it was named after him. So the weight of these molecules is measured in daltons. All right? So if you're at more than 1 million daltons, you have ace-mannan. If you're less than 1 million daltons, you don't. So there are companies that say, we have ace-mannan too, and they're about, say 380,000 to 400,000 daltons. Guess what? By scientific definition, they're not ace-mannan. All right. We have the highest polysaccharide content, polysaccharides, plant sugars. We have the highest polysaccharide content of any of the competitors in our market. That's saying something. Only in Ambrotose. And of course, the highest atomic weight. And there's another benefit with that I'll get to in a few minutes, having that high atomic weight. Our stuff is third-party tested. We have competitors, new ones springing up all the time. And you can start your own dietary supplement company literally on a shoestring. I mean, you don't need a research lab like we have, a state-of-the-art research lab. You don't need scientists. Any of you could do it tomorrow and then make all kinds of outrageous claims. But then there is scientific evidence, which is an entirely different situation, and that's Manitech. We're the science company. So we are third-party clinical tested for both safety and efficacy. Our products work. There's a reason that more than 1 million people have purchased more than 3 billion, that's billion with a B, dollars worth of Ambrotose over the years because it works. Not just we've proven it scientifically, but it actually works. So our Ace Mannan is standardized and stabilized aloe vera. That's important that it's standardized, so it's always the same function. Not every company does that because it's an extra expense. And stabilized. Why is this important? Well, it was discovered when mannose was first discovered in aloe that molecule, once exposed to oxygen and sunlight, would begin to degrade almost immediately, and in 72 hours, it's worthless. So it's important to stabilize that molecule, and that's what we do. So we have this unique allopectin. Now, you may have heard the word pectin, and I'm going to talk to you more before we're finished this evening about our special clinically tested modified citrus pectin, which has been added to this. But in addition, we have an allopectin that is extraordinary. I would say the most extraordinary allopectin in the world. Pectin, if you were to Google, don't Google right now, okay? But if you were to Google pectin, you would find all kinds of studies. And most of them talk either about immune function, which is super important, or they talk about helping your body cleanse itself of chemical toxins. Boy, is that important. It will tell you in all of these studies that the heavier the pectin is, the higher the atomic weight, the more effective it is at cleansing your body. Who has the highest atomic weight? Well, Manitech. Our pectin is unique. Having our allopectin and our Manipul, there are so many products in Ambrotose Life. I mean, literally, you could go out and buy separate products to try and total Ambrotose Life, and you still really couldn't do it. Our aloe is grown in Costa Rica. Why is this important? It's important because that's just about the ideal place to grow aloe. Aloe needs a certain temperature, certain amount of sunlight, certain amount of rainfall, certain amount of humidity, and Costa Rica is perfect. Something else that's perfect. Aloe vera, among its many properties, one thing it will do is it absorbs pollution, which is a good thing. If you put a fresh aloe plant in your house to help take toxins out of the air in your house, yeah, it absorbs air pollution. But that's also a bad thing if you're trying to produce aloe products. Most aloe products sold in the world, I don't care where the company is licensed and based, they're buying their aloe, almost every product is buying their aloe from China because it's cheaper to grow aloe in China. The labor's cheaper and so on and so forth. But some of you, if you've ever looked on the internet at the air pollution in China, whoa, boy, I don't want to buy any aloe in China. In fact, the first time when I launched Ambrotose in Hong Kong, I had Chinese associates, and of course I didn't know very much about China at the time, and I had Chinese associates who came up to me, and they were really, really adamant about this. You must promise me that your product is not made in China. And I'm like, well, no, it's made in the United States. Why is everybody so upset about this? But they just kept, and one of them even said, pledge to me that your product is not made in China. I'm like, okay, I pledge. Like, what's going on? Then later on, I started seeing some of the videos of the air pollution there and so on. So it's not, in fact, I even had some Chinese associate that said, we want the label in English so that Chinese people know it's made in America. No, you've got to have it in Chinese. That's the way it has to be. Okay. All right. So now we say it's sourced responsibly, but besides the fact that our aloe is grown in Costa Rica, just miles and miles and miles and miles from the nearest air pollution, our growing facility has a 0 carbon footprint. 0. We don't create any pollution at the facility. So there's no pollution for the aloe plants to suck up. That's pretty cool, right? It's good for a lot of reasons, but it's very, very cool. So it's the most abundant source of acetylated mannans. Now, acetylated, you don't have to remember that either. Aspirins are acetylated. Why are they acetylated? Because that helps them get into your bloodstream and function faster and more efficiently, okay? So you may remember it like that, all right? So with this in mind, cellular communication, of course, that was the first thing that we talked about with Ambrotose back in 1996, and we still talk about it. And cellular immune response, cellular metabolism, and something that most people don't know, because you didn't get this probably in most of our literature over the years. Mannapole actually helps you to absorb, because of its function with probiotics in the gut, it actually helps you to absorb important nutrients like vitamin C and vitamin E. That's another cool benefit of Mannapole. Mannapole by itself is a product, and it's an amazing, powerful product. And I've been telling associates for years, if you see Mannapole on the label, buy that product. If you see it has Mannapole in it, eat that product. You want the Mannapole. And the more Mannapole, the better. That is a rule that you can always be sure of. There is more Mannapole in Ambrotose Complex than there is in Advanced. And there's more than twice as much Mannapole than there is in Advanced, and even more than there is in Complex. Clearly, the best Ambrotose we've ever had, especially in terms of Mannapole, just by itself. And over the years, of course, we've had people who said, you know, your glucosamine in Ambrotose Complex is shellfish source. I have vegetarians, I have vegans who want to start the product, but they can't. There are people with religious restrictions that they can't. In fact, more than 1 billion people on planet Earth follow religious restrictions that won't allow them to consume anything from the sea that does not have fins and scales. And of course, shrimp, or prawn, in many countries they say prawn, but you know what I mean. They're ugly little things, but they don't have fins and scales. So we originally, when we came out with Advanced Ambrotose, we found a way to get glucosamine from plants. The molecule's the same. It's exactly the same. So we're talking about a glucosamine molecule. We're not talking about shrimp or a plant. We're talking about glucosamine. That's the molecule. The function is the same. The structure is the same. So what we do in Ambrotose Life is we use the plant source. So now it's vegan and vegetarian friendly, and it's even kosher. And that's pretty cool, because we've been asked about that over the years as well. So the benefits over our two products are huge, but we wanted to make sure that we included Wakame in Ambrotose Life. And I'll have to spend a minute or two on this because of, I think, misunderstanding over the years on this. When we first came out with Advanced Ambrotose, our first version, because there's been 2 versions, the first version of Advanced Ambrotose had no Mannapole in it. None. Not a single milligram. And people had been using Complex very successfully. So our product comes out, and it was called New Improved Advanced Ambrotose, all right? So everybody said, wow, it's new and improved and advanced, it must be better. But some people who needed that Mannapole for immunomodulation, which I'll explain to you how that works in simple terms, no complex science here tonight. They were not doing as well on the Advanced as they had done with Complex, because there are functions with Mannapole that are unique to Mannapole, that are special with Mannapole. Well, why did we do that? Well, when we did our launch tour of the second version of Advanced Ambrotose, I explained all this, but not everybody in the world was there at those lectures, so I'll explain this to you again. We had a time when we were getting ready to open up new countries, and at the same time, and understand we're a corporation with different departments, right? Different departments doing different things. So we have our international people who are getting ready to open up new countries. And we were having trouble getting supplies of Manipul. Our grower was not doing a good job supplying us. So then our first chief of science, he says, not a problem. I created the first Ambrotose. I'll create a new Ambrotose. It'll be just as good, and we won't need Manipul. Well, without Manipul, there are certain things that just don't happen. And some people said, you know, I don't like this new product. This new product has wakame in it, so that must be the problem. It must be that the wakame hurts me. Well, the wakame was not the problem. In fact, I'm going to tell you why it's so great that you have it, okay, and why we kept it in Ambrotose Life. The problem, so that everybody watching knows, the problem for that small percentage of people, and it was a small percent, but if you're the one person that has the problem, for you it's a big deal, right? So very small percentage of people, and they said, you know, I think it's the wakame. I'm going to go back to complex. Well, of course, some countries didn't have complex at all. And even today, don't have complex. So when they added more Manipul, they got better results than they even got with complex. It was about the Manipul. It's about more Manipul. What is immunomodulation? All right, some people will say, the immune system maybe is a little bit too weak and it needs to be stimulated up to normal. And then others might say, well, this immune system is functioning too high and it needs to be suppressed down to normal. You don't want to stimulate, you don't want to suppress. That's not natural. You want to modulate. Your body has this function that we call homeostasis. It wants to meet in the middle. It wants you to be balanced because balance is wellness. Balance is good health. So what immunomodulation means, so we know stimulation, we know suppression, right? Now assume that where I'm holding the microphone is normal and healthy, all right? Immune system is weak. It needs to modulate up to normal, not above normal, modulate up to normal. The immune system is functioning too high. It needs to modulate down to normal. Normal, healthy, balance. That's what you want. The best immunomodulator that I have seen in my more than 40-year career is Manipul. The more you have, the better it works. It's that simple. So it was never about wakame, but lots of people thought it was. Let me tell you about wakame. Wakame is the sort of common name for a type of brown seaweed, which is, the botanical name is Undaria. You don't have to remember that. So wakame has a lot of amazing properties. One of the things that's in wakame are things called fucoidins. Fucoidins, man, look it up. You could see the science on fucoidins will blow you away. Do you want fucoidins in your Ambrotose? Yes, you do, absolutely. And some of the things that fucoidins do are just astounding, just from this brown seaweed. Now, in East Asia, lots of people in East Asia eat seaweed, particularly the brown seaweed. The brown seaweed is just absolutely loaded with all kinds of nutritional benefits, including the fucoidins. Now, in order to extract the fucoidins from the brown seaweed, that extraction process is complicated and it's expensive. So companies that sell fucoidins from wakame, they will do one refinement run, because that's all they have to. They figure you won't know the difference. You're just a consumer, right? Well, Manitech knows that science will allow us to do a maximum of 3 refinement runs. Guess how many we do? 3. Because that's the best way to get the highest concentration of fucoidin from that material to give you the best possible quality fucoidins that you can get anywhere. That is another, you know, there's so many things about this product. I could just go on for days. We won't go on for days, but it's so exciting. So our triple refined, our most concentrated wakame, the fucoidins from wakame, that was the huge major benefit in advanced Ambrotose, which is now in Ambrotose Life as well. So cool. And again, more than twice as powerful as advanced Ambrotose. All of these countries that never had complex or didn't ever try Manipul as a separate product, they are in for the most pleasant and most amazing surprise. When they start on Ambrotose Life, things are going to change, and it's going to be astounding for them. It's just going to be amazing for them. So our product, which is, it really is a product. It could be sold as a product. It's an ingredient in Ambrotose Life called AmbroGuard. That's our registered trademark on it. That is exclusive to Manitech by a written agreement, and it is what is called bifidogenic. You don't have to remember that either. What does that mean? Bifidogenic means it helps your gut make more good bacteria. And it does it really effectively. That's what it means. And of course, it's a good source of fiber as well. We know that it helps to modulate your immune system. That slide shouldn't say boost, it should say modulate. It helps to modulate your immune system. And on one study that was done, it actually showed that this premium form of arabinogalactan gave people better responses to flu vaccines and also to pneumonia vaccines. Now, what is that saying? That's talking about modulation. That's talking about immune modulation. That's pretty exciting stuff. So we've pretty much already talked about this, with the exception of the galactose part of it. There's a lot of galactose in, and that is, of course, one of the important glyconutrients or glycans for cellular communication as well. What I want you to remember about galactose is facilitating cellular recognition. Recognition and communication are two different things. So it helps you to facilitate cellular recognition. And of course, there are various other glycoproteins in AmbroGuard as well. And as if this wasn't already enough, look what we've done. Ambrotose complex and advanced Ambrotose have always been made, and still are, in a base of rice starch. Ambrotose Life is made in a base of rice bran. Stabilized rice bran. Stabilized rice bran is what we use to make our product called Nutriveris. Stabilized rice bran is sold as its own product by other companies. Why? Because of all the goodies in it. Stabilized rice bran is the real nutrition in rice. When you talk about eating rice, you're thinking about the polished white kernels, right? There's almost no nutrition in that. I mean, you can survive on it, and there are a lot of people on the planet who do survive, but you're not getting well nourished. The bran is actually that brown part that you see here. Sorry for walking in front of this, folks. This brown part that you see here between the husk and the rice kernel, that's where the nutrition's at. Well, of course, in Asia, they learned many years ago, centuries ago, that humans don't digest the husk. It's really tough on the gut. And they've tried different things like soaking it and all kinds of things like that. But eventually, they just polished the stuff. That is, they took the husk off completely, so they took the bran off completely. What's in the bran? More than 100 different vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, plant sterols, omega-3. The bran is absolutely bursting with nutrition. It's so nutritionally dense. And these are all natural. Even trace minerals are in this. Very, very cool. And that's now the base of Ambrotose Life. That by itself is an enormous benefit. As I say, it's like its own product. This truly is the best Ambrotose formula that we have ever created. And I could stop here, but there's more to talk about. I think about the late night announcers that say, "Would you like this for $19.95? But wait, there's more." I wouldn't do that very well, but anyway. So we have added a couple of new and exciting ingredients to this product for detoxification. Why is this important? Well, over the years, since we launched the very first Ambrotose complex in 1996, some people have a lot of toxin in their body because they live on planet Earth, and this planet is kind of toxic. You may have read a book I wrote about that. There are lots of chemical toxins and toxic metals and all kinds of toxins on this planet were all exposed. And different people have different levels of this stuff. So we would see some people who began to have detoxification reactions when their body wanted to modulate itself to normal. Part of getting normal is getting clean. But Ambrotose, either complex or advanced, didn't have a component in it to assist your body with cleansing the stuff out. But now, Ambrotose Life does. In fact, we have 2 ingredients for this purpose. We'll start with modified citrus pectin. Now, it's called modified because the pectin by itself, citrus pectin, isn't something that you can eat. If you were to peel an orange and you look at the inside of the orange peel, you'll see strands of fiber embedded into the orange peel. If you open those strands of fiber, you release polysaccharides, which we call citrus pectin. Again, when you look up pectin, you see all kinds of fabulous stuff about it. So much about the immune system and so much about pectin helping to cleanse your body. In fact, there are companies that sell only citrus pectin products. That's all they sell. Well, at Manatech, we don't do anything halfway. We don't do anything without real serious scientific consideration, and there's no change here. In fact, our citrus pectin is the most clinically tested modified citrus pectin in the world. So it's no ordinary citrus pectin. If you want to buy a citrus pectin from someone else, you certainly can do that, but ours is the most clinically tested. So why would you buy a product that wasn't? Just doesn't make any sense. So the modified citrus pectin, it is a source of something called glucuronic acid. And glucuronic acid is known to help, and you don't have to remember glucuronic acid. Just remember MCP, okay? Modified citrus pectin, MCP. It helps to flush toxins from your body, chemical toxins. Chemicals are a problem, but it's only part of the problem that you need to cleanse your system with. So we have the best form of that, but in addition, we decided to add sodium alginate. Now, sodium alginate, and I get this question all the time, it's not table salt, okay? Don't worry about it. We're not going to put table salt in the product, so don't freak out. Sodium alginate, what is it? Well, a lot of people saw the name and they thought, oh my God, that looks like something terrible. Well, it's not something terrible. In fact, alginic acid, which is also known as alginate and also known as algin, depends on which literature you read. Alginic acid is polysaccharide. It's anionic polysaccharide, which is found in the cell wall of brown algae. It's extracted from the cell wall of the brown algae for its purpose, which is to help you detoxify metals from your body, heavy metals. Because heavy metals are a problem. I want you to think about, we don't have time to go through all the specifics, but just think about all the heavy metal exposure on this planet right now. So it's important. We've got this one ingredient, which is the most clinically tested, our MCP, to help you detoxify chemicals from your body, and sodium alginate to help you detoxify heavy metals from your body. And there are companies that sell nothing but sodium alginate for that purpose. You might picture this in your mind right now. This big bushel basket on the stage next to me, just envision it. And in the bushel basket, as I keep talking, I'm putting another product in this basket. And the products in the basket's getting more and more full, and that still won't equal Ambrotose Life. All these products, just a huge, huge value. So the anionic polysaccharide, it helps to bind to heavy metals and then, of course, carry it through your urinary tract, which is so, so cool. Very, very safe. And again, it's from brown algae. There's more. We have this in two forms, because another question that's come up over the years is, can you make Ambrotose taste better? And can you make it more convenient? Because I can't take the tub with me in my pocket all the time, all right? Now, we know that a lot of people are going to continue to use the economical form, the bulk form of Ambrotose, as you've always done in the tub. But now we've made Ambrotose Life in slim sticks so that it is more convenient and it is citrus flavored, and you just mix it in water, mix it in 8 ounces of water, and there's your whole Ambrotose for the day. Each slim stick, so you're going to have a different situation. Let me do scoops first. On the label, you're going to see a couple of statements that apparently have confused people. Well, this is what trainings are about, to take care of the confusion. So on the label it says, a heaping scoop is approximately 2 grams. But the scoop is 1.67 grams. So people are going, oh, I don't understand this. Okay. All of our studies to date have been based on 4 grams daily, 2 grams twice daily. All of our studies. We want to continue to use that science in our benefits claims. So in order to do that, we have to tell you that if you want 2 grams, you have to do a heaping scoop and do that twice daily. But then why is the scoop 1.67 grams? Because the product is so much more powerful that I think everyone who needed 2 grams before is probably going to do very well with 1.67 grams. That's a level scoop. Now, when you make it as a level scoop, you're going to have exactly a 30-day supply. If you do it as a heaping scoop, you're going to come up short at the end of the 30 days. So I had to explain that for you so you understand that. Now the slim sticks. On the stick itself, and I have been asked this, even tonight I was asked it twice already. So on the package, it says that the slim stick contains 10 grams. It contains 4 grams of Ambrotose Life, exactly the same Ambrotose Life that's in the bulk container. The rest of the material has to do with flavoring and coloring and materials that we need so that we can mix it in water and make it mix properly, okay? So that's the confusion. Well, is it 10 grams? Is it 4 grams? It's 4 grams of Ambrotose Life, okay? Now, our recommendations in the past have been 4 grams daily as our minimum daily recommendation. So you use the 1 stick for the day, and you've done your 4 grams. And it's in a citrus flavor, has a very pleasant citrus flavor, so it's convenient and it tastes good. And yes, it does cost a little bit more because there's more expense involved in the packaging and making it flavored and all that kind of thing. Now the new rules in the United States, and this is not, and I got this from some Australians a couple of days ago. So the rules in the United States are different than they are in other countries. In fact, every country has its own rules. In our country, we can no longer say no artificial flavors added. So listen carefully the way we have to say it. Now we have to say natural flavors added. Now I've said the same thing, basically, right? But some people are confused by that. And they think, well, natural flavors added, why'd you have to add natural flavors? To make it taste good. Okay, so that's why it's there. The rules, the rules. So, we have a product in Ambrotose Life that gives you all the benefits of complex, all the benefits of advanced, and the best allopectin that I know of on planet Earth, with the heaviest atomic weight that I know of on planet Earth. In addition to that, modified citrus pectin, which is the most clinically tested modified citrus pectin in the world. That's important stuff. Made in a base of stabilized rice bran with more than 100 different vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, plant sterols, and omega-3. Even trace minerals are in there. And sodium alginate to help you detoxify heavy metals. And more than twice as powerful as advanced Ambrotose. Ambrotose Life is, without question, the best, most important product that Manitech has ever made. Now, our marketing department made a much prettier slide. I did this, and okay, so it's not beautiful. But I'm not an art guy, okay? I'm a science guy. So just give me a break on that. So what I wanted to show on this slide is at a glance, what are the differences between the 3 Ambrotose products? So what you see, the way I've lined this up, you can see each one that matches, and then where you see that things start changing. And clearly, Ambrotose Life is superior to advanced and complex without question. It is clearly superior. Now, marketing has made a really pretty one-page handout that you can show to anybody and also a download. And so that is a great way for you to show to people. And I think that all of you should think about this. In fact, I was saying this to one of our vice presidents, Landon Frederick. He's vice president of global sales. And I was saying, you know, this is like the Wake the Dead product. Okay, that's not a claim. Okay, I'm not making a claim. I'm talking to you in business terms. Now, I was an associate for a short time, and I built a highly successful presidential downline because I believe in leadership principles that include never ask your men to do anything you would not do or could not do yourself. I learned that as a Marine. Now, of course, they don't say men anymore. I'm not sure what the correct phrase is now, but you get what I'm saying, okay? So I became an associate so I would know what it was like to be an associate, know what you go through, what you have to deal with, what you're faced with, so I could help you more by knowing that. So I have a handle on what it's like to be an associate. One of the things that you'll have in all of your downlines are positions that have been long since dead. Now you have a reason to contact all those people and say, you know what? Ambrotose was great. Ambrotose Life is way better. We need to talk. So to me, I said to Landon, it's kind of like a Wake the Dead product in that respect, okay, from a pure sales point. So last slide, just to summarize for you. Imagine that big basket full of products that I asked you to see beside me, okay? Think about this. You've got the full Ambrotose complex, all of the glyconutrients, all of the glycans that you've needed, that you've depended on, that you've benefited from all these years, and Manipul, and our allopectin, and our Ambrogard, our modified citrus pectin, our sodium alginate, Wakami, of course, which is triple refined, and that's a Manitech exclusive, and our stabilized rice bran. It's like having at least 8 products in one product. Now, folks, I don't care how you cut that, that's a value. If you were to go and look up the cost of all these different products, and you can't get Manipul or Ambrogard anywhere else, but products that are lower grade in the same category, you total up all these dollars, and you find out that Ambrotose Life is actually a bargain. This is a product that I want everybody on this planet to have every day. Everybody. No exceptions, everybody. Okay? Remember, immunomodulation. Everybody. So folks, I've done some videos talking about a surprise announcement. I'm not going to tell you what the announcement is. That's up to Kevin. Okay? And maybe Mary Jo. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. But I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight on the internet. For those of you who drove here this evening, I appreciate that very much. Just to say, folks, this is our most important product. You need to start telling everyone about this product. You got to start taking it yourself as quickly as you can. I mean that. But you need to start telling everybody about this as early as possible. No time to delay. You're not going to see any newspaper headlines that say, the world got healthier today. That's not going to happen, okay? It's quite the opposite. So start helping people right away. And I'm going to turn this over to my friend Kevin. All right. Thank you, folks.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Nugent. All right. Hey, let's get on our feet. Come on. Thank you, Dr. Nugent. We appreciate you being here. All right. Give him a hand. Oh, some great information, Mary Jo. Mary Jo Hilliker, my partner here at Tuesday Night Live. Really, really good stuff. So one of the things that I picked up on that is it's twice as effective as anything else that we have. And we already have the best product on the market. Absolutely. So now we have the best. The best. We need to is Mary Jo Hilliker's mic on, please? We need to make sure that mic is on. So now it's the best of the best. But I'd say other things that I picked up on. I've been doing this for 20 years. I still don't know what sodium alginate, fucoidins. You don't have to know all that. We have people at Manatech, like Dr. Nugent and many, many more.